Science fiction has always been a genre that opens up limitless possibilities for movies, and Netflix seems to understand this very well. The streaming service is not afraid to experiment, offering viewers the most unexpected and original projects. In this video, let's talk about the best sci-fi movies created by the platform and try to figure out what makes them appealing. Make yourselves comfortable and enjoy watching. Released in 2016, Spectral is one of those Netflix movies that has been undeservedly overshadowed despite its intriguing idea. The action is set in Moldova, where a weapons engineer and a SWAT team must take down supernatural, ghost-like creatures. Faced with an almost invulnerable enemy, the heroes are forced to improve their weapons and develop new survival tactics. Spectral is a dynamic action movie with high stakes. The ghostly antagonists are capable of destroying anyone in the blink of an eye. The movie did not become an event in the world of cinema, although it successfully combines science fiction, mysticism, and exciting action. By the way, a prequel comic book was even released based on the movie, which adds depth and detail to this universe. Stowaway is riveting in its simplicity and focus on limited resources. The movie follows a team of 3 people on a mission to Mars. When an unplanned 4th passenger is discovered on board, the crew faces the threat of doom. With only enough supplies for the 3 of them, they are now faced with a difficult choice in an economy of everything, even oxygen. Reminding audiences of films like Apollo 13 and Gravity, Stowaway maintains an atmosphere of tension despite its modest budget and limited space. The movie is truly suspenseful, although the pace of the narrative can seem slow at times. Space Sweepers is a great example of how Netflix's international projects deserve a lot more attention. The South Korean sci-fi action movie tells the story of the crew of the Starship Victory, who collect space debris to earn money for their dreams. One day they discover a small android named Dorothy and find themselves faced with the choice of helping her or destroying her, as she is being hunted by the authorities and her discovery does not bode well. Space Sweepers is an explosive blend of classic science fiction, detective, western, and pirate romance. The divergent and unadulterated charm of Team Victory, vivid special effects, and a thrilling plot make the movie an unforgettable adventure. In the movie, Spiderhead, prisoners in a modern prison are offered to reduce their sentence in exchange for participation in experimental drug trials. The plot centers on Jeff, who becomes a guinea pig for Steve Abnesti, a genius pharmacist testing drugs that affect emotions. Love, fear, obedience. As the experiments progress, Jeff realizes that Steve has much more sinister plans. He is developing a drug that will make people act against their will, even harming those they love. This dystopian psychological trailer raises moral questions about the future of scientific progress. With unexpected plot twists and compelling acting from Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller, Spiderhead is one of the most unusual sci-fi movies on Netflix. Adam Sandler is known primarily for his comedic roles, but in Spaceman, he again demonstrates his dramatic talent. The movie reveals its plot rather slowly, but those who are patient will be rewarded with a stunning finale. Spaceman is about Czech astronaut Jakub Prohaska, who goes on a solo mission to investigate a mysterious phenomenon in the galaxy. Far from home, in the confined spacecraft, Jakub is trying to save his marriage to his wife. As he approaches the destination of his journey, he begins to see a giant talking intelligent spider on the ship. And it is this spider, strangely enough, that helps Jakub not only to accomplish the mission, but also to mend his relationship with his spouse. Okja, directed by Academy Award winner Bong Joon-ho, explores the relationship between Korean girl Mia and her genetically modified super pig. When a multinational corporation takes an animal to New York City, Mia teams up with animal advocates to save her beloved friend. Like Bong Joon-ho's previous films, Invasion of the Dinosaur, and Through the Snow, Okja raises environmental and ethical issues, particularly the consequences of corporate greed. The movie is set in an alternate future where corporations are trying to solve the problem of world hunger by genetically modifying animals. Despite the fact that the picture was released in 2017, the themes raised in it are still incredibly relevant. Mute is clear proof of how successful the combination of neo-noir and science fiction can be, just like Blade Runner. The movie is set in 2035. Alexander Skarsgård plays Leo, a mute bartender who is looking for his missing girlfriend. The story unfolds in a futuristic world that amazes the viewer with its visual beauty, and it is interesting to watch thanks to the vivid acting. The film combines noir aesthetics and futuristic elements, holding the viewer's attention with an unusual story and an unconventional central character. Released against a backdrop of political tensions around the world, Don't Look Up proves to be a surprisingly relevant movie. Directed by Adam McKay, it tells the story of two scientists who discover a comet heading straight for Earth. With only 6 months until impact, they embark on a media tour to warn the public, rally an idea, and meet the President of the United States. Except no one is seriously interested in their warnings. Don't Look Up is a sharp satire allegorizing real-world problems. The film mocks the divisions of society by emphasizing the importance of science. The brilliant cast, which includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, Toyota Chevrolet, and Jonah Hill, helps the film find that balance between humor and a serious message. Those who are not afraid of confined spaces will definitely enjoy Oxygen, an inventive thriller. French actress Mélanie Laurent plays Liz, a woman who regains consciousness in a cryogenic chamber without realizing how she got there. Air supplies are running low, resources are limited, and Liz has very little time to find a way to survive. Oxygen, similar to Buried Alive, but with a sci-fi twist, plunges the viewer into an atmosphere of suspense from the very first minutes. We watch Liz trying to survive in real time as the timer counting down the remaining minutes ticks down. Mélanie Laurent's emotional performance doesn't let the viewer relax for a second, making this thriller, essentially a one-actor movie, exciting and suspenseful. What Happened to Monday takes us to a dystopian future where overpopulation of the planet has forced the government to limit births to 1 child per family. All excess children are placed in cryosyn. To avoid this fate, the father of 7 twin sisters raises them while hiding them from the authorities. Each of the sisters has 1 day a week when she can go outside. The plot of the movie is filled with the action of, one of the sisters is missing, and the remaining sisters try to find her while battling the government in complete control of their world. The Cloverfield Paradox made a lot of noise even before its release. The studio decided to repeat the reception of the first movie with a surprise announcement and release. The Cloverfield Paradox was announced during the Super Bowl and became available on Netflix immediately after the game, without trailers, long waits, or anything else. The 2018 film offered a new take on the monster universe, introducing viewers to the idea of cosmic horror. The plot centers on a group of scientists who are conducting experiments with a particle gas pedal in space. Due to an accident, they find themselves in an alternate reality. The Cloverfield Paradox is also interesting because, among other things, it offers a look at the origin of the monsters first seen in the original 2008 movie. While the movie didn't live up to many of the expectations of fans of the franchise, it's still worth watching for its bold ideas and exciting sci-fi atmosphere. In the Shadow of the Moon is a sci-fi crime thriller that grabs the viewer's attention with its plot full of unexpected twists and turns. In addition, it is one of the best time travel movies on Netflix. The plot centers on Philadelphia detective Loki, who is trying to catch a serial killer who has mystically returned to his crimes after nearly a decade of silence. When a physicist suggests that time travel may be involved in the case, the chase turns into a race against time, literally. The Midnight Sky is one of Netflix's darkest yet touching sci-fi movies. George Clooney plays Augustine, a scientist who may be the last man left on Earth after a global catastrophe. Augustine devotes his remaining days to trying to communicate with the spaceships that once traveled to find habitable planets. He embarks on a dangerous journey to another base in hopes of making contact with the survivors. While Augustine struggles with his own despair, The crew of one of the spaceships tries to return to an Earth that has turned into something unrecognizable. They Clone Tyrone is one of the most underrated science fiction comedies of the 2020s. The action of this unusual film is set in an African-American neighborhood where three eccentric characters uncover a government conspiracy involving cloning experiments and mind control of local residents. They Clone Tyrone stands out for its bold combination of absurdist humor, dark plot twists and social commentary, but not overly intrusive. The movie's premiere was pushed back due to the simultaneous release of Barbie and Oppenheimer, but this film has a good chance of eventually becoming a cult classic. Project Power is a hard-hitting, realistic look at a world where people can gain superpowers, albeit for a short time. The movie is set in an alternate future. A former soldier, a teenage girl and police officers team up to catch a trafficker of dangerous pills that grant superhuman abilities for 5 minutes. The problem is that the Project Power derived from the pills is unpredictable and sometimes deadly, even to its possessor. Project Power is still a fresh take on the superhero movie genre, more down-to-earth and suspenseful. The unique concept of a drug that gives people superpowers makes the plot even more unpredictable. And although the scenes involving Project Power are brief and don't take up much screen time, they are extremely entertaining to watch. Extinction. In the center of the plot, Peter is a father suffering from vivid, recurring nightmares about a mysterious apocalypse. Soon his premonitions begin to come true, which are invaded by aliens. Now Peter and his wife Alice must do everything possible to save their daughters. Extinction received positive reviews from critics who appreciated both the very idea of the movie and the work of Michael Penny, Lisa Kaplan, and other actors. With a completely unique plot premise, Extinction turns the usual staples of disaster movies and the sci-fi genre in general upside down. Tao. Maika Monroe plays Julia, a young girl trapped in the smart house of a sadistic inventor named Alex. And while Julia is the central character, it's an artificial intelligence named Tao who commands all the attention. Seemingly hostile at first, Tao actually finds himself victimized by his cruel creator. As Julia plans her escape, a bond develops between her and Tao, leading to a thrilling fight for survival. Ryan Reynolds is known for his roles in dynamic and entertaining movies, and The Adam Project is no exception. Reynolds plays Adam Reed, a pilot from the future who makes an emergency landing in 2022. The plot centers on his attempt to save his wife, who died during a time travel mission. Pursued by a powerful corporation from 2050, Adam teams up with his younger self to fight for the future. The Adam Project is particularly notable for bringing back memories of classic, family-friendly, science fiction films while watching it, combining time travel adventure, humor, action, and touching moments. Black Mirror is already known for its innovative approach to science fiction, but Black Mirror, Bandersnatch, has raised the bar to a whole new level. The interactive movie allows the viewer to make their own choices for the main character, Stefan, a young programmer who adapts a book game into a video game. Each choice affects the development of the story, making the viewing experience a unique and immersive one. Created by Charlie Brooker, Black Mirror, Bandersnatch pushes the boundaries of streaming technology by offering the viewer multiple plot developments and endings depending on the choices made. This is a must-see and must-watch movie for all Mirror fans, as well as an outstanding experiment in the field of interactive cinema. Alas, you can only fully appreciate its potential directly on the service itself by purchasing a subscription. Amid the growing popularity of movies about artificial intelligence, it's worth remembering I Am Mother. This is a story about a robot named Mother who raises a girl in an underground bunker after a global catastrophe that she claims has wiped out all life on Earth. But when a mysterious woman who comes from the surface appears in their lives, the trust between the mother and the girl is severely tested. The movie explores themes of motherhood, trust, and survival, bringing to the surface pressing questions about the role of artificial intelligence in humanity. I Am Mother is an underrated science fiction gem with a claustrophobic atmosphere and intricate plot. And that's it for today. Of course, This is by no means a comprehensive list of the platform's best sci-fi movies, and the selection is subjective. The streaming giant continues to invest in the genre, creating more and more stories, but, while preparing the material, I realized that the peak of their partner's creativity was between 2017 somewhere around 2021. That's when the strongest and unencumbered by excessive agenda movies came out. While fresh releases like Leave the World Behind are also worth checking out, they don't change the overall picture. Share your favorite Netflix sci-fi movies in the comments, and maybe I'll make a new selection based on your recommendations as well. Thanks for watching. If you liked the episode, feel free to share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel and click on the buttons below the player. And see you in the next episode. Bye.